Hey guys, back again after a while. I had said in my last video that I do not tinker a lot, so the preseason content beyond the first draft was going to be a bit slow. But I actually made a few changes in this video. I'll show you where I stand, and hopefully, anyone watching, it would make you have clarity on any doubts you have regarding what you're going with for Game Week 1. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for a little milestone. My last video hit 100 plus views, and 100 is a small number for big accounts, a pretty big number for a small account like that of mine. I see this as a step forward. I'm still trying to learn all the time, but last time I tried OBS and PowerPoint together for the first time, experimented with odd graphics. I didn't follow the textbook color pattern for FPL this year, which many big channels are doing, and still so many of you at least clicked on the link. I do not have a very attractive thumbnail either, so it makes me really happy. So thank you for that, and now let's begin with the new draft. Okay, so let's start with the goalkeepers. Mendy Estate. Is he the best choice? No. Is he the best choice at that price? Maybe no as well. Well, what I wanted here is Chelsea defense and Chelsea defense cover basically, and that is why he's in. The keeper combo that I like is generally having two keepers from the same team, so that if one gets injured or suspended, another one comes in straight away. Last season was a bit different with the COVID situation. Fixtures were getting cancelled entirely, and that meant if you have two keepers from the same team, you are instantly a player short. So I like the Sanchez and Still combo from Brighton. I was on that for a while with Reece James covering for the Chelsea defense, but I like the current combination a little more. Let's see how it is at the deadline, and I'll speak about that as we go along. So on the bench, I've got Danny Ward, former Liverpool player, of course. When I'm recording this, there are rumors of Kasper Schmeichel leaving Leicester City. Maybe Ward would become the first choice. I don't know yet. Well, initially Leicester did sign him for good money from Liverpool because they wanted him to be the long-term replacement for Schmeichel. If they don't give him a chance now, I mean, when else would they? He's a pretty decent goalkeeper in my opinion. He's a very good shot stopper. He deserves his chance, and I'm really hoping that we get our Ben Foster for this season. Playing 4.0 goalkeeper. What's better than that? Okay, so yeah. So these are my two goalkeepers. Now let's move on to the defense. First slot, no explanation needed. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Pointless giving a reason why everyone should have him. So I'll just move on. Okay, so the second slot, Joao Cancelo. Now he has actually been in and out of my team quite frequently in the last couple of weeks. I really don't mind him at that price at all. I think Robertson and Cancelo both are fantastic picks, and if you have Trent, of course everyone has Trent. It's important to cover the City defense as well, and that is why I'm going for him instead of Robertson. The only issue is if I can use the funds better elsewhere. He has just taken the number 7 shirt at City, and that says a lot on how they want to play him this season. He's, I've said before that I'd consider letting go of Cancelo only if Cucurella comes in. I'm very clear about that. The rumors have not died entirely, but as of today, the transfer is not very close. Other than that, the City options, the likes of Edison, I don't mind at 5.5. He's nailed, of course, we know. The two centre backs at 6 million, decent options, but as we know that even the City centre backs are not entirely rotation resistant. Likes of John Stones and Nathan Ake could very well start some games, and they could very well come on at halftime. That is a possibility with Pep Guardiola as well. So Cancelo for me is definitely the most nailed option. Now if City do not buy another fullback, I don't really mind Kyle Walker as well at 5 million. Zinchenko is gone. which means City at the moment have just 2 first choice fullbacks. And that seems a bit odd. I'm sure they will get someone, but we cannot say that for sure right now. So it's a bit risky, like a Walker and even the 2 centre backs. So Cancelo is the standout and he's the premium pick. I'm going with him. The third defense slot, Matty Cash. He has stayed as well. Really like him. Really like the fixtures as well. Same price as the other Villa defense options. The centre backs. Minks is a bit cheaper, I think, but Martinez is the same price. The new guy that they've signed, he's the same price as well, and Luka Dean is the same price as well. So there is some urge to actually move elsewhere, but I'm a Liverpool fan and I want to have a Gerrard player in my team, and Matty Cash just seems like the best option at 5, especially at just 5 million. I think is a very good value as well. So yeah, the fourth slot is Kieran Trippier. Now this is a new addition from my first draft. Tomiyasu has gone and Trippier has come in. That means 0.5 million more has gone into building big at the back. A fit Trippier is a good option at just 5 million. I feel he's doing well in preseason. He's just got 2 assists in a game against, I don't know, I don't remember whom they were playing against, but the match I think ended 2-2, or they lost 3-2 late on. Whatever it be, I mean, he's somebody who's going to get attacking returns, and he's going to be on set pieces. So at 5 million, if Newcastle can keep some clean sheets, he's going to be very good value. I had the option of going either Sanchez, Reece James and Christian Romero, or Mendy, Trippier, and my final defense pick, Perisic. He has stayed as well. There are question marks over his minutes, but it's a risk I'm willing to take in the first few game weeks, at least until the Champions League starts. So among the 2 sets of tries that I just mentioned, I find the one that I have right now a little bit more interesting because it has all attacking options. So it is full house of fullbacks. Basically, I've taken out Romero, I've taken out Tomiyasu, who's a fullback, but he's kind of defensive. And I've bought in Trippier, and I've bought in... Trippier is the only one I think I've changed actually. So yeah, just one change in defense, and I'm very happy with how things are looking. And so yeah, so that's it. 5 at the back, like many others. And now let's move on to the midfield. Okay, so Salah again, no explanation needed. Captain for Game Week 1, which I'm not 100% certain about, but I'm probably not going to move around either, simply because I am a Liverpool fan and I do not want to start the very first game week hoping Salah blanks because of his ego. So I'm most definitely, I'm very likely, I'd say, to captain him. And yeah, so everyone should have Salah, no doubt about that. Next up, Pedronato has stayed as well. Lots of debate regarding him. Is he good? Is he not? Well, he is good. There is absolutely no doubt about that. And at 5.5 million, I think he offers insane value. There are just a few minutes back, I figured out that Raul Jimenez has been ruled out for a few weeks, 6 to 8 weeks basically. So that's a long time. Now, some people have been asking if that makes Neto a better or worse option. To my memories, the last time I owned Pedronato in FPL, it was towards the end of 2020-21 season. Of course, he got injured late on, but a period before that, I think Neto and Podence both did really well, even without Jimenez. And he got me a lot of points. He didn't get many goals, but he got me a lot of assists. And yeah, that is why I think he was, I think, a bit more expensive than this as well. his price has gone up. I don't remember exactly, but at 5.5 I think it's a no-brainer. He's, and the injury to Jimenez I think also makes Podence a very good pick as well. I think both of them are going to play good amount of minutes, and I'm really expecting, at the absence of Raul Jimenez especially, I'm really expecting Neto to step up and become the talisman of this Wolverhampton side. So yeah, both of them I think are a very good pick. If you want to go for a little variation, I think Daniel Podence is a pretty good option as well. Okay, so moving on, the next option, Son Heung-min, no-brainer. People are bringing in Kane because of pre-season form, but not many are actually considering last season's Golden Boot winner. Kane is cheaper. Kane covers the Erling Haaland slot as well. But the way I see it, the game of football has evolved over the years, and the number 9s these days play a little deeper. It's not just with Harry Kane, it's with likes of Ollie Watkins, Ivan Toney. We've seen these guys dropping deep and letting the wide players move forward, break on. We've seen these things happening, and that is, in my opinion, one of the reasons why Son has scored so many goals last season and the season before as well. Now, Harry Kane does have penalties, but Son has indirect free kicks and corners, so it is an even game that way as well. Son gets one extra for a goal, and he also gets another extra point if Spurs keep a clean sheet, and Spurs actually have a pretty good defense this year, with the likes of Bissouma coming in and Bentancur. He was very good last season. I think the defense is going to be much more settled as well. So I think that 0.5 million you pay extra for Son, I think is completely worth it. And instead of covering an additional slot in the attack, I prefer covering extra premium slot in midfield, because I really like the look of Kevin De Bruyne as well. And if De Bruyne starts banging in goals and one of my two premium midfielders do not perform that well, I can just move on to De Bruyne with just one move as well. It's the same with Kane and Haaland as well, but the attackers last season were not exactly scoring a lot of points, and I think the appeal in midfield is much stronger, and that is why I've gone with Son Heung-min. Okay, he's actually in my team just after Salah and Trent. Absolutely no doubt in my head. So he's going to be there. My last pick in midfield is a new entry, Jared Bowen. So West Ham have actually some nice fixtures at the start of the season, but the reason I feel not many are going for their players is because they play Man City in GAMEWEEK 1. The same City Bowen scored a brace against last season, and West Ham I think had a 2-2 draw, which took the title race to the final day of the season. So it has not been very long for people to forget. So you may think, if you look at this setup, you may feel like that I'm just looking at last season, but that is how it is. There is a reason for me to believe that the likes of Bowen and Son are, going to do well, because they did so well last year, and there is absolutely nothing right now that makes me feel like that they're not going to repeat. They're not going to restart from where they stopped last season. And another reason for going with Bowen is he's 8.5, which ensures that the likes of Madison, Saka, Kulusevski, Luis Diaz, all those players are 8, and if Bowen doesn't work and all those one of those players starts banging goals, it's very easy for me to move down. Okay, so I have these 4 midfielders, and on the bench I've got Andres Pereira. He's just joined Fulham. He's likely to play the number 10 role, so I think that there are a few other options at 4.5 as well that I like, likes of I think Sean Longstaff has done really well in pre-season. So, but yeah, Pereira, I think, is the standout, and he's a very good bench option. Some of the game weeks, he's an out-and-out attacking player, so there could be some game weeks where you have one of your defenders with a top fixture, and you could just simply play Pereira. So that is why I've actually gone for him, and I think he's going to be there in almost every team as well. And so it's a 5-4-1. It's very clear now. I have just got a single striker in my starting lineup, and that player is another new entry, and that is Gabriel Jesus. For 8 millions, we have a premium player. I had my doubts on whether he will be rotated or he will perhaps play wide with Nketiah taking the number 9 spot. But we have seen Jesus in scoring areas a lot in pre-season. And undoubtedly, he is the standout striking option in my opinion at that price bracket. If we're going with one striker, I think at that price and those fixtures and, a new player coming into a team with a manager who knows his game already, I think it's a no-brainer for me. I think there's a reason why he's so highly owned right now. And here, so Jesus is definitely going to be there in my team as things stand. As you can see, there is no Erling Haaland. He is the major omission from my first draft. This is no longer a premium in the conventional sense. It was an easy option for me. I just considered if Cancelo and Bowen at their price points offer me more value, or an 11.5 million forward would score 4 points per goal. So just think about that. Just think about that in your head for a moment, and make your call. I made my call. I was very clear about it, and that is why I have just one striker, and it is not a premium player. Now the problem with the single striker setup is, say for some reason one of the only striker that you have misses out. You have got 2 4.5 non-playing strikers on the bench, which once again means that you're down to 10 man. You cannot play a 5-5-0 formation, even if your bench players are absolutely smashing it. Probably you've got a defender or a midfielder who's got points, but one of your strikers has to be there in the starting lineup, and that is why I have actually gone with a 5 million striker instead of a 4.5. Now this is a player I really like, Julio Enciso of Brighton. He's young. He's probably not going to be a starter straight away, but he will get plenty of game time, I'm sure, because he comes in with a big reputation, and the boy is very talented. He's done really well in preseason as well, and I'm hoping he would get into the first 11 in some games, because Graham Potter is a manager who doesn't mind giving chance to the young players, and he also rotates a lot, so there will be some games where he comes in, and that is why I've gone for him. I'm expecting to play some part in every game, so if Jesus misses out, he can come in. And the final slot in my team has gone to Cameron Archer of Aston Villa, another young talented striker. Now he may go out on loan, I'm not so sure, but he has actually done well in preseason, and I have heard, I've read somewhere, I think Gerrard is actually looking to give him some first team game time. But even if things don't work out, I don't think the third bench slot is that important this season, especially with 5 subs and hopefully no COVID situation. So it's not a big deal. We can go with a 4.5 million non-playing striker. It's fine. There are actually a couple of other options as well. There is Greenwood from Leeds. There is, of course, I'm forgetting his name, the guy from Crystal Palace who I think scored a hat-trick in pre-season. So you can go for those players as well. Okay, so so this is my team. Not very long until we kick off. Of course, I'll put my final team on Twitter. You can follow me there, and we can chat football and FPL If you watch my videos, please subscribe. Please subscribe. While views are coming, I'm kind of stuck at the same number. Unlucky 13 for some time now. I'd love to have some subscribers to my channel. And when it comes to Twitter, I follow back anyone on Twitter who follows me. So come there. I'll drop the link of my Twitter account below. Come there, join me. Enjoy the banter, have fun. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's it. See you the next time.